production. Good evening, gentlemen. This is Sir Yeetus, and this is episode 39 of Yeetus Thoughts. I'm going to speak my mind on various topics, and this topic, I'm sure that majority of you men watching right now will be able to agree that when it comes to modern women, they love to try to mask their horrible behavior and decisions as something that's empowering, something that's strong, something that fills the feminist narrative, which is confusing to me because all I see is self destructive behavior. But who I have with me right now is the one, the only, Mayor Hercules.
Puniti, my brudas.
Puniti. What is going on, man?
Oh, another beautiful day here in the great north wet. Gray skies, pissing down rain. It's beautiful.
Oh, and before I continue, once again, Rishi, he is busy with his IRL situations. So he'll join when he can, but right now he is pretty busy with his responsibilities.
Yeah,
Just
he's
put
got got sponsored abilities.
he has to take care of the other mushrooms. And who else I have with me is Island Hermit.
What up? How you guys doing today?
What's going on, yo? What's going on?
Shit, just got off work debating if it's time to cut down my weed plants or not. They're looking ripe, so.
Well, for me, I got to start intaking more protein because I've been slacking on that lately.
Yeah, you got to get your protein in for sure.
Yeah, just not. I've been more focused on the carbs, It's like very delicious.
I thought you were doing more of like a keto type thing.
I know, but after me going to my grandma's house on my mom's side, and she cooks some good Puerto Rican food.
Yeah, I know how you feel, dude. Fucking there's this old Asian woman at my work. She's always trying to get me to eat food, and like the food is bomb as shit. But like I'm cutting, so I gotta tell her no, and she like takes it personal, and it's like, no, nothing against you, but I can't be eating all them calories, bitch.
But it's tough for me because I can't refuse food from my grandma.
Well, yeah, and if you did, they try to guilt you into eating it.
Nah, actually, I think my dad would straight up kill me.
I always have to remind people that I don't eat in the first 6 hours of the day. There are people who take it insulting, but
Nope.
Yeah, you're doing intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is a great tool, especially if you're trying to lean out.
Yep, I only eat lunch and dinner.
That's just how I've eaten my entire life.
Breakfast, I usually eat cereal because, that's what I used to eat, growing up because, cereal or oatmeal or, egg sandwich, something that I can make pretty quickly. But now that I'm older, I don't eat breakfast anymore. I have to be like very hungry for me to make breakfast.
Well, I'll say it again. You're not breaking a fast if you wake up and eat. You weren't fasting. You were sleeping.
Yeah.
Well, aren't you fasting anyway while you're sleeping?
No, you're sleeping.
Well, technically,
you're not eating anything.
Technically, you're fasting, but you're like asleep. So I see where you're coming from. It doesn't count because you're asleep. But yeah, you should, like for me, I wake up at 5 a.m. because I got to work and shit. So I won't eat until like noon. And that's like my fasting. I don't do the traditional where you don't eat until 2. I have my lunch at noon, so I'll just eat at lunch. And then I'll eat when I get home at 5. And then I eat again after the gym for my post-workout meal. So
yeah, especially in my family's medical history, I don't feel comfortable eating 3 to 5 meals a day like bodybuilders do. I don't like that at all.
There's been times in my life where I was bulking up and I was eating like 6 meals a day. It's so fucking hard to do.
That's tiresome.
It hurts.
Yeah, it becomes a job. It literally becomes a job. and then you're like freaking out if you can't get one of the meals in because you're trying to hit a certain amount of calories and shit.
Yeah, what'd you say, Mayor?
It hurts. Eating that much food it hurts. I can't do it. I tried it, eating 6 meals a day, and god damn, man, it just.
And if you don't have somebody making the meals for you, you literally gotta plan ahead like crazy to even have 6 meals ready. Whether it's
time consuming.
Yeah,
well,
it's very time consuming.
This is what I do. I'll take Sunday and I'll plan everything I'm gonna eat throughout the week on Sunday, and I'll fucking just like plan it out that way. I can just like grab it real fast and it's ready to go.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. I will never get tired of eggs.
I
do love eggs.
I eat 6 eggs every day.
6?
Yeah, 6.
Oh, well,
I thought 5 was bad for me, but okay.
When I was in the military, I used to eat around 6 to 10 eggs daily. But this is because I also didn't really eat carbs in the military as well. So I had to focus on protein and fats.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I loved every second of it. Not going to lie. I did love eating all that protein.
Yeah, that's one good thing. If you're doing like more of a keto style diet, you can eat like eggs and bacon and cheese, like all the foods you would think would be bad for you, but you're like doing keto. So those are the types of foods you want to eat because you got to get at least 75% of your calories from fat.
And I'm going to keep it real. It was more difficult for me to get drunk off of the keto/carnivore diet.
Yeah, because the carbs that you were eating was from alcohol. So that probably hit your body a little bit different. Like you were probably getting drunk a lot faster.
Oh, no. For me, it was a lot slower.
Oh, slower?
Yeah.
I would have thought it would have been faster.
No, I was like just fine. Like I was like, yo, what the hell? Why am I not getting drunk? It was weird for me when it comes to that type of diet. You know?
That's how I felt when I was down in Reno doing my MMA stuff. I was just packing in as many calories as I could, and I could plow back drinks like they were nothing.
But my grandma, unfortunately, she didn't understand my diet. Like she's like, why you starving yourself? I'm like, no, I'm just fine. I'm doing a certain diet where I don't really need to eat rice or bread or any type of carbs. But she wasn't listening. She's like, nah, you're gonna eat this food. I was like, fuck.
Yeah,
So,
women don't get it at all. I remember like a couple years ago I had this chick over and I was drinking an energy drink that had 0 calories. And she was like, oh, if I drank that, I would get fat. I'm like,
wait,
bitch,
was it a white can?
What was it?
The white can monster or?
It was the silver can Rockstar.
Okay.
Those are pretty good. They're 0 calories. And this bitch legit looked at me and was like, I would get fat if I drank that. I'm like, it has 0 calories.
No,
you literally
it's everything
can't
that you
get
eat with it.
The worst comes to worst, your insulin is going to rise. That's it. Because
it has 0 calories, so it has no carbs. So I don't even think your insulin would rise from.
Depending on a certain person, the body can tell the difference between real sugar and artificial sugar. So
most people's bodies can't tell the difference.
Right. So the insulin still rise. You know.
Yeah, you might be right.
Who gives a shit, you know? Cause
you still wouldn't gain any weight off of it though, because it's got 0 calories.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, you're probably burning more calories trying to digest the crap than you're actually getting from it, like an apple. You know, the complex sugars in an apple take more energy to break down than the apple actually gives you.
That's the one thing I miss about the military, though, because in the military, I was way more active in the day than being a civilian.
What time did you wake up for PT every morning?
5:30.
How long did it take you to get used to that?
Because in AIT it was 4:30, but in the I'm sure, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about or not, but it's when I was training for my job. But in the real army, like the real, regular place, I was waking up at 5:30, and it took me 2 months to get used to it. Waking up at 5:30, my body got used to the I forgot what it's called, the sleep rhythm, but my body was able to get up, like alarm clock or no alarm clock, was able to get up at around 5:30 every morning, and my physical training started at 6:30.
Yeah, one good thing about getting up and working out that early, I bet you felt great for the rest of the day after.
I did, and the only times I actually went to bed early, and with my early, it's around 10 o'clock, is in the military, because once you've been up for that long and you've been doing all this strenuous activities, whether it's exercise or lifting heavy objects or yelling at people.
Yeah, that's exhausting.
Yeah, very, very exhausting. Once you get to that point, and don't get me wrong, like I enjoy a drink or two before I go to bed. That's my NyQuil. It was good, around 10:30 that's when I go to bed. I don't really have a choice either. My body just starts to shut down. It just, like, maybe I should go lay down, and then I'm out.
Yeah, I just started doing 5 a.m. cardio before I get to work, just because like I'm trying to lean out and stuff. And like, there's really no better way to start your day off right than doing about 30, 40 minutes of cardio, but I'm still like kind of getting used to it. I'm used to working out at like 8 o'clock at night. So
I hate doing cardio in the morning. I fucking hate it so much.
Oh, it's good horrible. For you. But once you do it, you're like alert for the rest of the day. You feel great.
Yeah, especially those battalion runs and the brigade runs. It's like, fuck me, man. Especially the physical fitness tests, where you have to run 2 miles in a certain amount of time, push-ups in 2 minutes, sit-ups in 2 minutes. That does get nerve-wracking too, because once again, like, you can lose your job if you don't pass these tests.
Yeah.
So a lot of people do get nervous, like very nervous.
I kind of wish we had these tests in real life, just so people wouldn't be fat pieces of shit. You got too many people just walking around with 5 chins and forehead fat, and it's like I'm just getting sick of looking at it.
I'll give me 1 second. Just remember, guys, so in the military, we sleep like 4 hours most of the times. See, in basic training in AIT, they say that, and then on top of that, they say, hey, it says in the manual that we are supposed to give you 4 hours of sleep, but it didn't say that it didn't say that you have to sleep 4 hours straight.
That's right.
So imagine how much bullshit I went through in basic. I didn't have to sleep 4 hours straight. No, that wasn't said in the manual. The drill sergeants definitely took full advantage of that, motherfuckers. Especially during daylight savings time. Fuck them. Literally got us good. Why aren't you guys awake yet? I'm like, what? It's 4 o'clock. Like, oh, you forgot what the daylight saving time, didn't you? I was like, fuck. And we got smoked.
Did you guys know Hawaii has no daylight savings time?
Perfect. The rest of the world needs to follow suit.
Why not?
Well, I think it's because where it's at on the map. Like, I could be wrong too, but I've like looked it up and this is what I found. But I think where it's at on the map, it's just always the same, pretty much.
Oh, so you were part of the Air Force, Thomas Carney? You mean the chair force? I'm messing around.
I think daylight savings time is something that we just need to get rid of. It's an archaic thing. It gave farmers an extra hour of daylight time, but with as mechanized as our agricultural industry is, there's no need for it anymore.
So back then it was useful.
Of course it was. That's why it's a thing.
Okay.
But it's not. It does nothing for us anymore except for confuse the hell out of people.
That's true.
Is that why we had it for farming and shit?
That's exactly why we had it. It just gave farmers an extra hour to work.
Yeah. So the farmers can get up early or late enough so that like there's enough sun out there, or it's like they'll have enough sunlight and shit to do what they have to do.
And again, we don't need it anymore. Our agricultural industry, at least here in the first world, is so mechanized that it's mostly done by robots, man. We don't need people to be waking up like that.
That is true. But before I start the topic today, right, we're going to start with Mayor. Mayor, when it comes to model women using their bad decisions and behaviors and try to manipulate the masses into thinking that that's an empowering thing for a woman to do, do you have a summary? Like, do you have a quick perspective on that?
Well, a good example, at least from what I can see in the public eyes, look at our vice president.
Kamala
She has done such a horrible job since before she was even put into that position. And anytime she's asked a serious question, she cackles like a witch.
Wicked Witch of the West.
And
You know
There's
how she
no-
got that job, right?
well, we all know how she got that
Giving
job.
that
Lots of
gog
slong in her
cry
mouth.
Because to Biden, Kamala smelt the best.
Oh, Vincent King, you're from Wisconsin? I guess we're a lot closer than we anticipated. Hint, hint. Anyway, let's continue. When it comes to bad decisions, right? Because I will go to the specifics very soon. Very soon, I will go to the details. Island Hermit, how do you feel, or what is your perspective on modern women trying to make their bad decisions and behaviors into something that's empowering?
Well, like from what I see, women make bad decisions all the time. That's why there was a time in history where the father would marry off the daughter when she was legal, and she would find a guy. The guy would protect and provide for her, and it was a good guy vetted out by the father. And now they just like basically jump from every Chad, Pookie, Ray, and Tyrone they can because their fathers aren't finding them a good man. So there's one.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good one. I mean, we saw that in the movie Holes. You know, old boy built himself up, got nice and strong and yoked, decided to make a deal with the girl's father, and the father left it up to the girl on who she was going to decide to choose, and well, she made the wrong decision in the end.
Yep. Every girl I know has made horrible decisions with men. It's always the guy that's got multiple felonies, or the fucking jacked dude that drinks too much, or fucking they make horrible decisions, and then they expect you to bail them out when they hit 30 to 35. Oh, I'm ready to settle down. I'm ready for a nice guy. I'm done getting miles of cack from Chad and Tyrone.
All right, I got some for you guys right now, right? This will be the first topic, very first topic of what I believe is bad decisions are being turned into something that's empowering. I got you right now. Give me a second. Bam. Abortion shouldn't be used as a form of birth control. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, it's not birth control.
Yeah,
But
it's
you see it
murder.
everywhere, right? You see
What's
modern
that?
women.
I actually had a ex-girlfriend get an abortion behind my back, so I do not
Yep.
like them doing that.
But here's
Well,
the big thing.
the second I found out that my ex had done that to me, I dumped her and kicked her to the curb.
But here's the big thing. I'm not against abortion. I'm not. If you have to have abortion for medical issues or something heinous happened to the woman, and unfortunately it resulted in a conception, I'm all for abortion. I'm all for abortion. she should have the right to have an abortion when A, her life is in danger, or B, she's carrying somebody's child that was conceived in a horrible, horrible fashion, if you guys get what I'm saying.
Yep.
So, besides those two, that's when I draw the line. Abortion shouldn't be used just because she went from schlong to schlong to schlong, constantly getting pregnant.
I think the saying in the right
for
is
the
safe
8th
and rare.
time.
Right? Safe and rare.
Yeah. Why are you getting your 8th abortion? Why are you having 8 abortions?
Here's the
because
thing.
I can. My body, my choice. You can't tell me what to do.
And
My wallet, my choice.
Here's the thing. When you tell them, like, maybe stop being a whore and fucking, like, if you're going to at least jump around from dude to dude, use birth control, make him wear a condom, but they don't want to do these things. And then they're just like, oh, fuck it, I'll just kill it. Like, what? Like, no, that's actually a life form, but they don't want to view it as an actual life form.
Well, imagine if their parents didn't view them as an actual life form.
I don't view them as life forms. If you think about it, leftist women should get abortions because they're just going to grow up in single mother households, and like 15 to 20 years from now, they'll either be robbing you or in prison or being a leech on the system.
Or they'll end up being a Seminole Order shooter.
Yeah. But here's the crazy part, though. Crazy part. I know a lot of men, they can't believe what I'm saying, right? Modern women can kill your bloodline. Nothing happens. It's all good.
Yep, no recourse.
But if she wants to keep the baby, even when you don't want to, and it's been established since the beginning of your interaction with this woman, you're still responsible for that child. So even when you told that woman, hey, I don't want a kid, I never want a kid, but if something slip up like condom broke or et cetera, if she becomes pregnant, if she decides to keep the baby, you're still at least financially responsible. So I'm like, wait a minute. Same thing of what Dave Chappelle said. If you have the right to end my bloodline, why don't I have the right to not be financially responsible for a child I didn't want in the first place? If you're able to kill,
yep, I was just going to bring that up.
Yeah, but if you're able to kill, why can't I walk away?
Yeah, which one sounds more humane?
Exactly.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up too. They have the right to do whatever they want for it. They have the right to yeet it out of existence, but God forbid you don't want to pay. Then you're the bad guy. What's like, well, you know, at least I wasn't going to kill your ass.
Yep, that's a big issue of modern women are trying to switch it, bad decisions and behavior, and trying to switch it to something empowering. This shit right here. And this is just one of many scenarios. I'm going to type up the next scenario soon, but do you guys have anything else to say about this? Anything else?
I think it kind of goes to yesterday's topic. Be careful where you plant your seeds.
Yeah,
because this is what they'll do.
You got to be extremely careful who you drop your seed in. I know we've all seen that one video where the girl breaks down how she got knocked up by 6 different dudes and how she's getting money from all these dudes plus the state. It's like that chick made more money than I do, and she doesn't work a real job, and she just collects money from all these dudes that are essentially her slaves now.
Yep, pretty much, which I'm going to be putting up right now. 1 second. Just pissed me off. All right, coming up right now. Damn. Using children for financial gain. Same
Yeah, lion and
topic.
MGTOW, they do it for kicks. Yeah.
There's a very similar conversation we had yesterday. They use their kids as props. They use their kids as a shield. They use their kids as a meal ticket.
They use it as a trophy. They hold it up as a trophy when they want to be praised, but then they hold it down as a burden to the rest of society so that they feel bad for them.
Because, do you know, like, I'm sure you guys already know, how many mothers kill their own kids? Compared
Far more than men.
Yeah. Because if that kid doesn't serve any type of purpose for her, even her own kids are a means to an end. I'm not wrong. It's out there. Look at the Casey Anthony case.
I
Isn't
pulled
that the
20
chick that
stories
stabbed her
about that.
boyfriend a bunch of times?
No, that's the lady who killed her kids.
Oh,
And buried her in her buried the kids in her backyard.
damn.
I mean, I posted a whole thing where I pulled up 20 different stories just from 2021 alone. It's the top 20 Google searches when you type in mother kills her kid.
Men are focused on extending their bloodline. Women are focused on what can I get from using this kid? What can I get? What monetary gain can I get? That is fucked.
And you even got to be careful of scams where women will sleep with like 10 different dudes, and she'll tell each one of those guys that she's pregnant, and then she'll say she's getting an abortion, but she was never pregnant to begin with, and she'll get like $500 to $800, whatever it costs for an abortion, off each one of these guys.
Yep, and they are so proud of their behavior, they actually make videos calculating how much money they'll get from each different daddy. This woman has 6 kids from 6 different fathers, and she's calculating how much money she gets from each father through child support. Oh yeah, that's a mother with unconditional love. Here's another topic. Bam. Model women being proud of being Jezebels. And what do you guys got to say about that with their bad behavior and decisions?
Yeah, you're considered a strong and independent woman if you have an OnlyFans and you grind on a pole.
Well, yeah, your average girl next door is basically just a giant 304 on OnlyFans. I can't tell you like how many girls I know. They look all innocent and cute, and they're like selling their souls for $3.99 a month on OnlyFans.
Oh, the religious girls are the most freakiest ones I know personally.
Mormons.
Yep. I had this girl at my work. She doesn't work there anymore. For the summer, she was like conservative and cute and stuff. And then she's got like a big nose ring and like tattoos and stuff. And I'm just like, you ain't fooling anybody.
But this girl, or modern women, jumping from dude to dude to dude to dude to dude to dude to dude until she's 35 or 40 and expect good men to wife her up at that point.
Well, yeah, you saw the video of the lady who's saying, yeah, we do want good guys. We do want good guys. But we don't want good guys until, we're probably 32 to 35 after we've already gone through the quote-unquote asshole phase.
See, that would have worked if they didn't open up their big-ass mouths on social media.
Hey, guys, something happened to my speaker. I'm having a hard time hearing you guys.
Do you hear me still?
Well, I'm going to jump out and jump back in real fast. I think it was because somebody was trying to call me.
All right.
I'll be right back.
Yep.
You put your hermit in, you put your hermit out.
Oh. But they do all this crazy shit, then expect a good man, more specifically a successful Chad, to wife her up. How ironic.
Yep.
Yo.
You hear me?
Yeah, it's better. I think
right.
it's because I'm on my phone and somebody tried calling me. So
I love how like there's rarely any argument on my end because everybody knows it's true. Everybody knows it's true. Okay. I'm telling you, man, these girls' trips, these girls going to the nightclubs, these girls having a bachelorette party. You think she ain't sucking Sloan behind your back? Even the day before your wedding? Come on,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Oh.
Go Google search dancing bear.
I got a story on Girls Night Out. So this chick that I work with, she was telling me how she went to Chicago with the girls. And so anyways, I guess one of her friend left the club with like 6 dudes and she had a boyfriend. And they couldn't find her until the next day. It's like, all right, bitch, what were you doing with them 6 dudes? And of course, the girl that told me this tried to be like, oh, but I didn't do nothing. I was loyal to my boyfriend. I'm like, bitch, he was probably there with her.
That's how she knew.
Yep.
See, but that's the crazy part. She expects you to not pay attention to her past. That's the crazy part. She expects you to not mind all the trains that was ran on her in college, all the dudes she slept with in high school, all the pity sex, all the makeup sex, all the going back to her ex sex. She expects you to ignore all that. And you have to pay full price for what motherfuckers paid for free or at least for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, 99-cent cheeseburger.
That's it. Which is insane. This is why I tell motherfuckers. This is why when women are 35 or 40 years old and they're still single, how is that not a walking red flag? Don't listen to this goddamn media bullshit that brainwashed you all your life. All right? Something's wrong with her if she's still single at that age. Don't play that bullshit. Say, oh, no, what you know what about to say about cougars? No.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know what they say about cougars? They're predators.
Literally predators.
They're predators.
I'm not going to lie. When I was like 22, I used to smash a lot of cougars because it was easy. But now that I'm like 31, oh, fuck no, dude. I would never touch a girl over 30. Like, right now I'm monk mode, but if I ever do go back to dating, it's going to be 18 to 24.
I never touched a girl over 27. I'm talking about even with practice. I would never touch a girl over that, ever.
Yeah, when I was 22, I didn't know any better, so...
Yeah, we all make mistakes. We learn from them. I didn't get
red-pilled until I was 27, so...
When I was 18, it sounds nice to meet with a cougar. Until you find out that later on, she actually tried to trap you into taking care of her 3 bastard kids.
Most of the cougars are like married, but they just want to like low-key cheat on their husband with some young dick, and that's what they're doing.
Well, half the time they're not even cheating. They're literally, their husband sent them out there.
Jack Murphy.
And then you want to reflect like, if this is the norm, which in my opinion, it is the norm for wives or fiancés or girlfriends to be cheating, why will you risk your livelihood for these Western women?
Well, that's why they're trying to make polyamorous relationships normal. That way, you'll be the beta simp that provides for them, but they can still go out and mess with all the dudes they want. Like, they're seriously trying to normalize this.
Yeah, beta bucks, alpha fucks.
Yeah.
That is true, but
and then it also reminds me of that Bill Burr skit where he was talking about, like why would anybody get married when 3 out of 4 marriages fail? Would you get out on a plane and jump out with a parachute if you knew that 25% of them were okay and 75% of them were going to fail? Would you use the parachute?
Yep, and then he got married.
And then he went and got married. Yeah.
You see, I still got respect for Bill Burr because he did throw out some good red pills. But at the same time, I'm not going to feel bad. If I was one of his homies, I would definitely pour him a nice glass of Jack while laughing at him. Like, bro, you fell for the exact same shit that you were preaching about. Fucking sick.
I used to watch Bill Burr's podcast every once in a while, and somebody actually brought up, what do you think about MGTOW? And I thought out of anybody, he would be cool with MGTOW because he drops a lot of red pills in his content. And then he just wanted to say, like, oh, MGTOWs are just guys giving up. I'm like, no, Bill, out of everybody, I thought you would at least understand.
Exactly. But I'm going to add 2 more people.
Get him in here.
What's going on, Gray?
Yo.
Hey, welcome back, Gray.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
What's going on, Brandon True Blood?
Yo.
The truest of bloods.
All right, I'm going to add this new topic. Once again, this revolves around women having bad decisions and bad behaviors and try to switch it into being something that's empowering. So, bam. Sign the marriage contract. What do you guys got to say about that one?
Oh, that is the kiss of death.
Oh, I know from you, Brandon, personally. You got something to say to the chat about that?
Well, you're just setting yourself up for failure. You're signing all your rights away, and there's no such thing as an airtight prenup. They can find ways, find different judges, whatever, just to grab your shit, to steal your kids, to, rape you or rape. But
it's too late, Brandon. Just keep going.
Another thing that we haven't talked about yet is that also goes along with the marriage contract is these ladies go out there and they get huge amounts of debt. Going getting these useless degrees or taking out loans to buy Chanel bags and that type of stuff, just completely being foolish with their money. And then they go and find some beta buck.
Okay.
That's
I agree. And when you marry them, you inherit that debt.
Yep. Medical debt, educational debt, car debts, house debts, evictions,
credit card
debt. All of that's yours too, especially the eviction part. You try anywhere in the United States to get yourself an apartment or a house with an eviction on your record. They'll rent to a felon before they'll ever rent to somebody who has an eviction.
Yep, that is true.
And how many of these single moms out here have evictions under their belt?
That's why they try so hard to get on your good side, so they're the hobosexuals.
Yep.
They're only with you because they need a roof over their heads.
And imagine the amount of stress that you have to go and put yourself through in order to put a woman up like that when you have to hide her from your landlord every day.
Every day. You got to make sure that her car is parked far enough where it's not noticed. And worst comes to worst, she will have to leave at certain days,
Yeah, inspection day, you got to put all your stuff in the closet. You got to hide it behind my stuff. You got to be gone for at least 6 or 7 hours.
Because there's a certain amount of days that she has to be in your place until the landlord's like, all right, you got to add her onto the lease.
Or the maintenance man comes in and finds out that she's there and just goes and tells the office.
Yeah, fucking snitches.
And then that's the end of it for both of you. Now you got an eviction because of her eviction.
Exactly. Hey, Brandon, you good?
Oh man, I'm good.
Okay, just making sure. I'm going to be adding 2 more people. Island Herman, you don't got the ick, right?
No, just a cold in Michigan and a fucking coughing, but I'm good.
Okay. Amazing Ice and Real Talk.
What's good, fam?
Yo, what's up?
What's going on? So when it comes to the topic that I have, I'm sure you see the title. I'm going to start with Real Talk. What is your perspective on modern women using their own bad behavior and horrible decisions to try to switch it into something that's empowering?
Well, as men, we got to remember that a man's idle mind is a devil's workshop. He's got to go in there and he's got to put in work to change us, to get us off our course, to get us off of our purpose. Women, on the other hand, their idle mind is a devil's playground. He doesn't have to do any work. He can go in there, he can have fun, he can have a blast. And she's going to allow it to happen because she loves evil. So when there isn't a man who's kept her busy, who's kept her focused on one thing at a time, a father figure, like we basically have to be father figures to these women and offer like this level of guidance while fucking them and having them scream daddy during sex. But then outside of sex, with the non-sexual attention, we have to treat them like they're our daughters. So that's the problem is how many Chads and Tyrones want to play that? None. If they didn't have a father figure, what's going to end up happening? No father figure, no one played that guidance role. Chad and Tyrone never going to play that guidance role. So they don't have any guidance till they try to settle down with Mr. Beta Bucks in their 30s. And by that time, I think Better Bachelor was chopping it up on Chronic Stream, pretty much saying their love hormone is worn out. So there's nothing left there to cling on to Beta Bucks so that he can try to guide her and mold her and turn her into something that's better than what he started with. As men, we got to remember one thing. She's only going to be as good as how she came like to you originally. Like you can't really build these Western women up any more than what you were receiving them as in your first interaction because their imprints have typically already been set. So, hey, I mean, we're just kind of working with pretty much the last of the rotten meat at the bottom of a dumpster, and we're trying to like sift through it right now. But yeah, that's my thing is their minds are always idle, and it's the devil's playground. So until they're busy, until a man is putting them to work to guide them, we're kind of always going to have to deal with them having a way out, them always being able to make an excuse, and like they're the most slippery like eel. Like they can get out of any situation because this society set them up to get out of any situation. But I'm gonna digress.
I agree 1,000,000% what you said, Real Talk. I'm going to see what Amazing Ice has to say when it comes to the topic. How do you feel about women doing all this crazy shit, bad behavior and decisions, but they try to pretend that it's empowering? What do you got to say about that, Amazing Ice?
Well, I gotta say, it's kind of an unfortunate in the sense that have you ever seen like you're in the middle of a boss fight and then the main villain's like, I got real strength, and he kind of like pumps him up and all that stuff. It's like, no, it's not really real strength. They're kind of just, flexing. It's not really much all for show because, the bad behavior that they do doesn't really build long-term wealth. So it's like in the short term, like if you'd use the dark side, yeah, you got some power, but like long term, it's not going to help you. Your ceiling is super low. you got a fast ride, but it's gonna come to a crashing halt. I mean, that's why they call it the wall.
Yeah. I agree, man. I definitely agree. Brandon Trueblood, do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, these ladies also get told over and over and over again how wonderful they are, how they're smarter than men, how they have more wisdom than men, how men are stupid and you don't have to listen to them. So even when you do try and guide them, when you show them the right way, how to act in certain situations, they don't listen to you. It's been programmed into them since they were little girls by their mothers and grandmothers.
Preach.
It is absolutely astounding. My second wife, the day I got laid off from one of my jobs, she wanted to plan a vacation.
Oh, yeah, you told us about that. Yeah,
That was crazy.
I remember that. That was crazy.
And another thing, the daughter bought a bedroom set, and I'm like, where's this money coming from, girls? You guys gonna go out on the street? You gonna raise your leg? That's why I've gone monk.
If I ever had daughters, man, I'm telling you, if I ever had daughters, they're gonna be Rapunzel. They're teenagers. I don't give a fuck.
Worst case scenario.
Like, fuck that. Because if you're gonna do all that crazy shit, the Western shit that's happening today, you're disowned. I don't give a fuck. Like, how are you surprised? Why do you think a lot of men these days are pissed off when they find out they have daughters? You should love your son and daughter. No. A man that's having a daughter, he knows he pretty much can see the future.
I think it said you have sons, they're a pain in the ass during their teenage years. You have daughters, they're a pain in the ass forever.
Ain't that the truth? Oh, man. And the selfishness of modern women to cut the bloodline because it's empowering. She ended your bloodline because of feminist ideologies. Ain't that some shit?
Oh,
like what the fuck?
Well, that's the thing. Like, it might be a little more than just feminist ideologies.
Well, it's more than that, but I'm talking about the core thing on how, I don't have to be a mother. I don't have to get married and stuff. You know what? I don't even want to have kids. You can't do anything about it.
That's the thing.
Eventually, and if I get pregnant, I'm going to get an abortion.
But that's
literally
the thing.
When your bloodline over and over.
Now, but keep in mind on the alternative. But then you have the alternative, as we saw yesterday, with that one who's got like 10 from the same Tyrone.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I guarantee you, her dad was not in her fucking life.
True, but that's the thing. Well, I think it depends whose kids. I don't think that they would dare touch Chad's kids unless they no longer see them as a Chad.
Well, the fact that she got 10 kids from the same dude.
Well, that's the thing, but like she kept every single one of them.
Yep.
So that's because those are the ones that she wants. Because if we think about it, like, let's look at, okay, let's go just back to the wild animals thing, because that kind of stuff's, I guess, my wheelhouse now. But, all right, so say you have a female lion or whatever wants to get into the territory that this male lion's holding. She's got a kid in tow. Do you think the male lion is going to be more accepting of her? Yep.
Brandon.
Yo.
Are you good?
Huh?
Sounds like you're doing blow over there.
Literally, it sounds like you're smelling cocaine.
Well,
He's got
I'm
his
just
glass table and credit card out, just waiting.
He's just going in more than Tony Montana.
I'm gonna mute myself then.
Yeah, it might be that your mic sensitivity is set to like auto detect or something.
Okay, that's probably it.
I got the flu too.
Oh wait, do you have the stuff?
The Rona.
The stuff.
Can't be obvious, Island.
The
I need
Voldemort virus.
I don't want my channel terminated.
I know we got to be careful on YouTube.
That
say
which
that
must not be named.
That which must not be named is internal to me now.
Like that chronic. He got his mic inside his damn mouth.
Yeah, but like, do check your mic settings because a lot of them will switch to auto detect and they'll adjust the gain to whatever the lowest detectable volume is. So, like when you're not talking, it slowly gets more and more sensitive.
Yeah, just if you're unable to do it, yeah, definitely mute yourself. If you're able to fix it, it's all good. But yeah, you're giving me anxiety up at this bitch.
I thought I was the only one
I
hearing
was
it for a
like,
minute. I'm
what
like,
the
all right, which
fuck?
one of you guys is doing blow?
Spoiler, it's all of us.
That's all.
Everyone.
Why you snitching,
Mine's
bro?
actually pre-workout.
Why you snitching? I'm eating
Yeetus, you are my.
I'm eating some sugar. Okay, that's all I'm doing. But Gray, go ahead and continue.
Yeah. So like, anyways, yeah. So male lion holds a bunch of territory. Female lion, ostracized from her pride or whatever, wants in, has a kid in tow, and she realizes, male lion's less likely to accept me if I'm offering this kid in tow, and you know it's not a kid of the female variety, which he might see as a bonus. So then she goes like, well, I'm not going to starve to death, so bye, kid. I'm going to try again with round 2. And I think that might be built into the kind of mammal things where like women will kill the children that they think are getting in the way of attracting a more desirable mate.
Oh, I'm definitely not surprised at that part.
Yep. There are many different species of animal where they will kill their children just because they know that the alpha male in whatever species that is will not give them a chance or protect them if they got a kid. So they'll straight yeet it and then get pregnant with the alpha's kid. So,
well, and then there's the other thing with how many of you are familiar with the mouse utopia experiment?
probably everybody.
I'm not that familiar unless you
you're not
explain. I probably remember.
All right. Okay. So basically, this guy, the scientist, created a mouse paradise. Like there was like enough food and living space for all the mice. It was just an enclosed, cut off area, and he filled it with a population. And they never had to want for anything. They never struggled for anything. It was just you eat, you sleep, you live. And what happened was the biggest mice end up being the Chads of the group. Like they were the ones who got all of the sex, a very tiny portion, and all the breeding was done by them. Whereas all the other males just socialized around like the feeding troughs. The females in that situation, while they did breed like crazy, they did not raise their children. They straight up neglected their children to the point where the kids died, and you didn't have any actual future generation. And this continued on, and it became a death spiral where the entire population of mice was going to be wiped out, not by any external threat, but just because they had everything they needed, and there was this behavioral sink where they just kept breeding, but they didn't value their kids. And so the children just kept dying.
Okay, I'm back.
All right. How much of that did you get?
Almost none of it.
All right.
Left and didn't even tell no one.
You guys in
Yeah,
the conversation,
so-
I was going to interrupt.
So yeah, but basically, with mice in a perfect society where everyone has food, the biggest and strongest will sleep with all the females, and none of the other males will get any. And the females will not raise their children, and so while they will have kids, they'll just leave them in the shelters to die while they go out and continue doing stuff with the alpha males.
True. Yeah, you're right about that one. I agree.
So for some reason, I need to look more into this. There is this inherent behavioral sync in mammals where I think it might be something along the lines of like women need to have a reason to value their children. If they have an endless supply of alpha mice and an endless supply of food where there's no need for competition, then why do they need to raise the children?
Because the children is still the bloodline of the father.
But that's the thing with the mice, like the alpha mice apparently didn't care.
True. I'll give you that one, but
Wouldn't you say it's the environment being so perfect to where they didn't have to worry about survivability as far as taking care of said children? So if you remove the perfect scenario, perfect world, then their biological instincts would kind of override that decision making. Correct, Gray?
well, see why
that was
see
actually the
why.
funny thing.
I gotta say this real quick. I see why modern women are so quick to have abortions these days. Because they don't see a need to be having all these kids for a man to stick around if he wants to.
Well, for one, they do have the government to fall back on as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the part of the perfect society of today. Because
Exactly.
if they didn't have the government, if they didn't have the welfare, if they didn't have all this crazy shit that they can take advantage of the incomes, if it was actually majority of the power going to the states, modern women would definitely have a completely different outlook when it comes to abortion.
But that's the other thing. Also, a lot of, and this doesn't sound mean. Like, no, this is mean, but it is also kind of reality. Women see their children as free labor, especially the men.
Oh, yeah.
But if a woman doesn't feel like she needs any additional labor in her life, like if she's got access to all these grown men that are willing to bend over backwards for her and throw money at her, why does she need to spend a second raising a child?
But I gotta put this out there though. How women view children and how men view children is different.
Oh, absolutely.
Men, they're just teaching them what they need to know in the event that he is unable to take care of the family anymore. But the women, it's just straight up, you along with the husband or whatever, son or daughter, you're a means to an end.
Last thing, women love like a utilitarian.
Yeah.
It's very much I give you stimulation that activates dopamine. In exchange, you do stuff for me. Whereas the man loves sacrificially. Like he expresses his love through action.
Yeah, men love idealistically and women love opportunistically.
That's the way. Even how a man expresses his love, it is to
he
work.
loves that's what I was saying. Like, he loves a woman, hoping that she wouldn't change. He loves a woman for who she is, no matter if she reaches old age. That's our downfall, in my opinion. But when it comes to women, they love whoever gives her the best possible opportunity or resources or whatever.
That's the thing. You can't. Like, that's the thing. The problem, a big problem, is that we use the same word, love, to describe both male and female love, when they're really not the same thing at all.
Yeah,
No equivalency.
I agree.
Well, TFM actually talked about this on a video a long time ago. There's like 2 different types of love. One of them's called agape, and I can't remember what the other one's called. I'd have to go back and rewatch the video, but
Eros?
yeah, that might be it.
Yeah. No, I did take a class on that, and there were multiple. Like the ancient Greeks did have multiple descriptions for it. True enough.
Yeah,
Basically,
Ribby.
men love unconditionally. Like men love women unconditionally. Women will only ever love you for what you can do for them. The moment you lose your job, the moment you are not useful to her anymore, or whatever, she will kick you to the curb so fast. It's like when the thing that's happening all around the world first started. I've seen all these posts on social media about how women were breaking up with their man because he lost his job.
I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
apparently that happened back in.
Hold up. I haven't heard of it.
2000.
Yeah.
What law is that called?
Which one?
I explained it before. It's a simple law.
Refos?
Yes. Briffault's law.
Yep.
That's literally, if you know, do you know what Briffault's law is, Gray?
I can't recite it off the top of my head, but it's like something about them loving as much as their best available options.
He has 4 statements on that, and don't get me wrong. What he says is still theory. Of how once a man is unable to meet the expectations of the woman, that relationship doesn't exist anymore. You know, which you can see very clearly when it comes to a man and a woman's relationship. Once that man is unable to keep up with her demands, the relationship is over. I can send you the link or something like that in the future, but there's 4 statements total, and I went through this before in my previous live streams. None of them were wrong, in my opinion. That's literally what's happening today. That's how women operate, and women are very horrible at keeping secrets, because you know that they love to brag about it on social media. They openly brag about how men, they're just walking ATMs. Men are just walking fuck toys because of how many options that they get.
Yep. They even
And-
brag about it on social media. I can't tell you how many videos I've seen where women are just bragging about using men, manipulating men just to get the bag. And then you have all their sisters like, oh, you go, girl. And it's like, you wonder why men are walking away and we don't trust any of you.
Yep, and if you know about Briffault's law, why would you get married at this point? If you know about those laws, why will you risk your livelihood when it comes to marriage?
I've actually managed to find and pull up the quote for it. You want me to recite it?
Yeah.
Right, so, Briffault's law: the female, not the male, determines all the conditions of the animal family. Where the female can derive no benefit from association with the male, no such association takes place.
Yes, and we're going to replace association with relationship. That'll make it easier for people to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Is he wrong? Let me know if you believe he's wrong, gentlemen. I'm down to have a conversation about that. I am down.
I think we should add perceived benefit because many of the times these women are postulating and prospecting on many men that are going to give them a perceived benefit. And there's so many men out here that fake it till you make it. So I think today's 21st century, 2022 woman is always looking for the perceived benefit because it's like, how many tests are we put through? You know, how many shit tests does that guy have to go through so that it's not perceived, that it's actual benefit, that it's concrete? You know, they'll ask you several times what you do for a job. They'll go and be little Quizzlers. So they really have to get down to the bottom and make sure you're for real.
No, that is true. Like the point where it says, sorry, where the female can derive no benefit, definitely where the female can perceive no benefit would be more accurate.
Exactly.
But that's the biggest thing, you know, if she isn't willing to give you sexy time and or give you a child, what's the point of a man associating with that woman?
Well, and that's an interesting part where the female, not the male, determines all the conditions of the animal family.
Right.
I don't know if I entirely agree with that.
Well, at least I'm gonna say this right now. Yeah, a woman. So yeah, of course, everybody knows this. I'm pretty sure everybody knows this. Women, they dictate sex. They dictate who they're gonna be laying down with. Men, they dictate.
Do they though?
Yes.
Women, yes, they do.
Well, no,
or else it's rape.
No,
Well, I'm gonna finish this right quick.
Great.
Hold up.
that's the thing. There are
Wait. I'm
actions.
gonna finish this right quick. Women, they're the gatekeeper of sex. They determine who they have sex with or not. At least in a civilized society.
That's the key point right
But
there.
when it comes to commitment, men determine who are they going to be giving their resources to or not. Men determine who are they going to be sticking around and taking care of the woman and his child. Because once again, even having a child by a man ain't going to keep him around. It's up to the man to make that choice.
But that's
the balance. That's where it comes, in my opinion.
Well, the thing is, this is
we
where
can break that down. We can break that down to men marry who they want, women marry who they can.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, just throw marriage out the window. Let's say marriage doesn't exist. The law still applies. If a man deems like, okay, I'm gonna take care of this woman when it comes to resources and make sure that this child grows to be an adult, and then the woman, which has gotten very bad within the last 70, 80 years, the woman chooses who she's going to be having sex with and get impregnated by. In a way, because the male family members in her family are the ones that vet the men to the point where they'll find that one man that's perfect for her daughter, for his daughter. You know, because in the marriage isn't about love. Like, you guys agree, right? Marriage ain't about fucking love.
No,
where in the Bible, where in the Bible or where the fuck it is, say that marriage is all about love, happiness, more love.
Biblical standard, once you have sex, you're married. So there was never a ceremony. There was never bridesmaids and all this garbage. It's a complete joke.
Yes,
brought to you by the church.
Marriage is a fucking duty.
I actually watched a video where Elliot Hulse was talking about that back in the day. When you had sex with a girl, you were considered married.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, see, that's where it all went wrong. Because before, we all know about, you know, how women, they're imprinted, at least with the first person they have sex with. And as long as She ain't going around trying to have sex with nobody else. She is satisfied with that one schlong. Just one. Because she hasn't even experienced any other schlong. Life was good at that point. But of course, in the recent situation in society, she can travel around the world and get as much schlong as she wants.
Well, keep in mind, Eve, like there was only one schlong in existence, and she still chose to listen to the snake. So
Yeah, she's a dumbass.
Well, it wasn't just one slong. It was perfect. You didn't have to wear clothes. All of paradise. It couldn't get any better.
None at all. But
well,
great. What were you going to say though?
well, a couple things specifically, like with Briffault's law, like he's not specifically talking about humans. Determines all conditions of the animal family. So
True,
if we're going to look at it as an
to
example,
animals,
well, technically we are animals.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But that's the thing. But if we're going to consider Briffault's law, we can't look at it having the big asterisk of in a modern civilized society. We have to look at it as wild nature. And the female having choice for who she has relationships with is not a given in nature. A family support structure to protect the female is not a given in nature. If you've ever seen ducks do it, yeah, that's not given. It's not standard.
But
So
even with modern civilization, it hasn't been that long compared to millions of years of evolution.
That is true.
Even till this day, even people want to admit it or not, we're still not as much in touch, but we're still in touch with our ancestors a few 100 years ago at least.
But this gets into it where, okay, so the female determining the nature of it, the male has to decide to feed her, because we all know what happens if you just leave one female alone in nature, or even a bunch of females alone in nature.
They're most likely going to die.
They're almost certainly going to die, and probably in a very stupid way. So,
I agree.
And that's where like the perceived benefit comes in. So, like basically, with a female, like any male is going to be preferable to no male. And even in the modern one where they're going, we don't need a man, it's like, no, you need the government. Like, and if the government turned off and decided you're all on your own tomorrow, yeah, the women would jump on the nearest man that would say yes to them and latch to them like crazy.
That's true. I agree.
So that's the thing. So like the woman, in order for Briffault's law to be true, the woman needs to have options. And there also needs to be some sort of enforcers, because like again, like in a completely isolated system, if you just have one man, one woman, and the woman says, I am the woman, therefore I choose when we have sex, the man's going to say, really? Shall we test that theory?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Y'all know it wasn't really just two people named Adam and Eve, right? What are you talking about?
Yeah, like talking about like the story of Genesis. Yeah, it's like it's a metaphor.
Somebody elaborate, because I'm not getting it.
He's talking about like when we were using Adam and Eve as an example for why women are never satisfied.
So is he saying there's more than two people in the Garden of Eden?
No, he's saying like not to take the story up. Like he says that he's saying that we know better than to take the story of the Bible absolutely literally.
Okay.
Like
Interesting. Okay.
So, which is what it is, but that's the thing. So, but we get to that sort of system. I think it's very hard to argue that the woman has control if it is just her and a man.
Whose dogs are barking in the background?
Oh, sorry. I think it's the neighbors.
Yeah, your neighbors need to. Actually, no, I'm not them. I'm not mean towards the animals. I'm not. I just got caught off guard with all the barking. I was gonna say a dark joke, but I love dogs. So I know I invited 2 new people. First, we're gonna start with Ian Blades, and I'm gonna go to just a random guy. Ian Blades.
Good evening.
What's going on, man? What do you have to say about the topic of modern women? They want to have all their bad decisions and behaviors that they made in their young lives and try to change it into something empowering.
Well, it's always been the same. There's never any consequences for a woman. They just play life, I suppose.
Right.
Did you ever see Bear Grylls' The Island?
Yep.
You see the one where they had 2 islands, one with the girls and one with the boys?
Yes, those are good shows. Like good. That was a good season. I mean, because I think they had like 2 or 3 seasons with them, or just 2 of men versus women.
I think it was 2, yeah. But the first one, by the end of it, the guys had pretty much sorted it all out, and the girls still hadn't found any water.
Well, the fact that the girls were struggling to survive, then the men caught a whole alligator to cook.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
The women basically died of dehydration twice and only survived because the crew came.
Yeah,
I
if
think
there was no crew, they would have been fucked.
I think the girls were even getting help and they still couldn't make it because, come on, a baby pig just wandered into their camp. And
2
instead of
baby
making
pigs.
bacon out of it, they're like, oh, we can't kill it. We must keep it as a pet. And it's like,
feed
yeah,
it
that's what
our
when the
women.
collapse happens. You guys are all going to die.
If I was
See
trying to
this?
survive, I'm good. I'm saying my prayers like, hey, man, thank you, little pig, for giving me the energy, your resources. I'm going to eat you, but I'm gonna gut you, like right now. I'm going to run after you and take you out.
Brought a
But-
lot of joy in my heart when I seen them shivering under a tent on the verge of not making it until that one simp was like, hey,
Yeah,
come
fuck
over to
that
our
simp.
camp.
Fuck that simp.
Yep, I agree.
Fuck him.
The one guy
Holy
that was
shit,
like
he
in
pissed me
charge.
off.
The one guy that was like in charge of their like group was like looking at him like, dude, why'd you bring these bimbos over here? And he just looked, because I want Puniti. I would have banished him off into the rainforest somewhere.
Imagine you going out there in the rain, out there hunting for food and stuff, right? Doing what you're supposed to do. You come back, there's a group of women, not even giving up the Puniti, taking hostage of your fire that you made.
To be fair,
What
there's
the
a film
fuck?
crew and whatnot there. In the real world, that would not happen.
Hell
would've been
no,
one-
that would not happen.
It would have been one thing if they were doing like what Sandman says, trading BJs for Big Macs, but they were just over there freeloading.
I just wanted some. If it was a transaction, once again, yeah, it was a TV show. But if it was a fair transaction, I wouldn't have made a big deal. But this bitch ass simp fell for the simplest plays in the book when it comes to female manipulation. Oh, we're cold over here. We can't get any food. Can we get some fire? Oh, don't worry, ladies. Let me put on my cape, my Captain Saberho cape. Come on over. Come over to this fire. Like, no. Fuck
Well,
that. And
For
if
all
it was
we
for
know,
real, he would have got his ass beat.
Well, for all we know, like he was kind of instructed to do that by the film just to create the narrative.
It had to
make
be
a nice,
because
make a nice warm fuzzy.
right, because it was for real. He would have got he would have got stomped out.
Yeah, I
Like,
believe that too.
seriously.
Because if there weren't cameras there, the guy he either wouldn't even care about them, or he would make them offer something up for them.
That's the thing. I don't think at that point it would be an exchange.
Yep.
Like it would basically be, oh, I found a bonus. I'm going to take it.
Did they go to that fire once or twice? I forgot. I think it was once. Try to take advantage of a male's hard-working resources when they should have been strong and independent in their own little camp.
I think they just did it that once and it was easy for them. They just like bashed their eyelashes a few times and that simp was all about. He's like, oh, sure, you can keep warm at our camp.
You can keep warm at our camp as long as you give us that piggy. We're going to make bacon tonight.
He would have got choked the fuck out. I'm telling you right now.
I guess I would have been like, hey, we got some chicken, but we're going to need something. You're going to have to trade us something in return. And my pee-pee is awfully dry, so.
Starve or give us some sloppy toppy, your choice.
Well, like I was saying, I mean, they got that whole pig.
Or schlong.
They got that whole pig that they had. You know, if you want to sit by my fire and warm up, well, we can warm up that piggy too.
Oh, that pet pig?
Mm-hmm.
2 pet pigs.
I'm telling you, man, it was insane. It was insane. The fact that instead of worrying about the water supply, cleaning out their water barrel and all that crazy stuff, they went out for a swim. They went out for a fucking swim.
Yeah, they treated it like a vacation.
That's what I'm saying. And you saw it throughout the, at least the male camp. They were holding each other accountable.
There's a reason that Lord of the Flies was an all-boys school and not an all-girls school.
Yeah, like seriously, it's like, bro, you're not doing shit. Pick up your fucking weight. We're trying to survive here. Like, I don't give a fuck. Ooh, my pinky. Ooh, it hurts. Ooh, no.
If it hurts that bad, I'll eat it.
See, what they need to do.
Weight, we all die.
They need to remake that episode, but all red pill dudes, and then just like, I don't know, a bunch of OnlyFans thoughts. Like, could you imagine? They'd be like, oh, can we come over and keep warm? We would just be like roasting the shit out of them, and they would fucking be crying and go back to their camp.
While we chilling near the fire, like.
Could you imagine? It'd be like a camping trip. We're just like eating our fucking alligator, and we got pigs hanging from trees, and they're like starving all cold.
Imagine if the Warband was there.
Oh, if the Warband was there, those ladies would have no choice.
Probably find some weed in the woods.
Go ahead and starve to death, or, hey, you're going to have to give us something in return, and you know what we want.
I know, that's the thing. Like, it's not even going to
be extra dry.
It's not even going to be a matter of starve to death. Like, I'm telling you straight up, if I'm there, it's like, look, you can either be useful to us, or you can be food.
You're gonna run up on him like the booty warrior.
I'm not gonna let
do this the easy way or the hard way.
I'm not resorting to cannibalism.
I'm not letting this much free protein go to waste.
Jesus Christ,
bro! Half the show would be Chronic roasting them.
I'm not eating other people.
Cannibalism is a
you get hungry enough, you will.
Don't you get sick and shit when you
only
eat
if you eat the brain?
Humans?
Only if you eat the brain,
bro.
Apparently, long pig. The closest thing is fried spam.
I do love me some spam. I'm not gonna lie.
Like that. Like that's the thing. So long as you don't eat the brain matter, like you don't have to worry about the cannibal crazies. And
how do you know about all this?
I looked into it.
With that, how do you know about this?
Well, they used to eat people on the island.
Did you go to Mount Everest? What'd you do?
I don't know. I've done a bunch of research, and that was just one of the random things I've picked up over the years. I can't actually go and get. I can't actually now. I can't actually go and get some actual information though. If you need a source,
read the I see what you're saying though. I do see what you're saying.
Yeah. No, like that's the thing. In a survival, like do or die situation, you don't let free protein run away.
Yeah, I agree. Even though it's so fucked up. Survival of the fittest, you know. I wouldn't be mad if somebody were picking off my body if I was dead and gone. I'm gonna keep it real.
Well, see, you would get sick though because you can't eat other people. Because I know in Africa for like bush meat, they'll eat chimpanzees, and we're too closely related to them, and those people actually get sick as fuck from it.
Well,
Even
that's the
if
thing.
they cook it
It's-
fully.
Well, it's the brains too. Like if you eat the brains, it's kind of like how with mad cow disease. Like it was the brains of the cows that were causing the problems.
You ever been hungry enough to literally eat ass?
What?
Jack
No,
Murphy's
man,
got mad
I
cup
ain't
disease.
never that hungry. Ever. I will starve to death. I don't give a fuck.
Hey, Yeetus, did you hear me? Jack Murphy's got mad cuck disease.
Legit, the IG, man, I'm telling you. That dude is something else. I forgot to check his YouTube today.
I'm
See
thinking
how
like
many
every other
subscribers
day.
he lost.
Every time I look, it's like down another 1,000 subs.
That's what I'm saying. I gotta look it up again. But there's plenty of things that we could talk about how women use a bad behavior decisions and using it as empowerment. I got something else. Something quick. I got you guys. I got you. I got you right now. Hold up. Oh God. Hold up. Let me spell today. All right. Wearing, skipping clothing.
They just advertising.
Yeah.
It's all part of the monkey branching that they're doing. They just want to get Chad and Tyrone to notice them so they can get on in there.
That's the same reason why they go to the gym, to a public gym, when most of them have an apartment complex that has a gym on site. They still feel the need to go into Gold's Gym or 24-hour fitness and wear all the skimpy clothing.
Hey,
Oh,
I'm
dude.
Chronic. My bad, bro. You're right.
The
We don't
gyms are
offer
the
a
new
choice.
the
With
the
us or
gyms are
against
the new
us.
nightclubs. Like for real. Like I can't tell you how many girls I've smashed from the gym. Like I remember one time I was doing a set of incline dumbbell press with 85-pound dumbbells, and this girl was sitting next to me and she was doing like the same thing but with like 12s or 15s. I get done with my set and she like acts like she's done too. She starts like touching my like shoulder and chest and she's like, "Oh, you're making me look bad because I'm doing like the same exercise but with like 10 times the amount of weight."
Well, shit. It's not even just nightclubs. It's women literally walking in the middle of the fucking night. No man by her side. No protection. No defense mechanisms. Walking around with the skimpiest fucking clothing and thinking that there's no sick fuck out there, man or a woman, that'll take advantage of her.
Well, that's actually
Like,
kind
how
of a funny
fucking
thing.
stupid can you be?
Well, that's like me going down to Detroit at 3:00 at night with $100 bills falling out of my pocket and like the biggest gold chain that you can find. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get my ass beat and probably die.
Well, there's
Yep.
two
Yeah,
two
robbed, all
things.
that.
Two things to go with that. Number one, they first of all, even if they do think there could be someone out there, they assume the absolute protection from the simp brigade.
Yeah, if you walk down into any major city now, like I'm close to Glasgow, and my friend of mine who's actually gay looked at these girls and went, "Are they professionals?" He honestly thought, "Are these all whores, or what's going on?" And
But-
they're wearing nothing, you know.
That's the biggest issue, though, right?
Yeah.
Middle of the fucking night. Middle of the fucking night. Skimpiest of clothing.
There's the
Thinking
50
that
Shades of
there's
Grey
no-
thing going on too.
But
That's-
thinking that no fucking predator is
A
looking
lot
at
of these
her.
ladies are
That's-
looking for the
No,
predator.
I'm serious. In the middle of the fucking night? Really? You think you're just gonna go out there? Hell, she's probably gonna go to the club drunk as fuck, but then she's gonna wander out drunk as fuck and skip
Well,
clothing.
Or
She really
and
thinks?
keep in mind there is the fantasy
Huh?
that they like. Because it doesn't give them, because then they're not accountable for their actions. If they're drunk off their ass and forced, then it's not their fault.
915, I agree. It's like going for a swim in a pool filled with sharks. I agree, million percent.
While bleeding.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I
while
agree, million
bleeding.
percent. I'm telling you right now, I give 2 fucks. I don't give a fuck. There's a reason why. I have not ever seen my mom going out there in the middle of the fucking night trying to go for a run or trying to have a little girls' night out or whatever. Like, what the fuck? Are you stupid or are you fucking dumb? Okay. This is when the creeps and the predators going out and have their pickings. There's some sick fucks out there. Sick fucks.
I think there's
I don't
possessed
give a
people
fuck.
out there.
Okay? And then modern women want to be like, oh, why won't you let me go out in that outfit? Oh, why won't you let me go work out at night? Bitch, are you stupid? Are you stupid?
Well, I think you can just say, well, you can, but you're going to find that your key doesn't work to the house when you get back.
I'm gonna find you dead in a bunch of fucking bushes the next day.
There's even scripture that mentions that women should not go out without a covering because of, I think it referred to like the angels or like was referring to like some dark demons essentially, and the covering is of course a husband or the guidance of like some man. So yeah, it's crazy that you bring this up. But something that Gray mentioned was how there is always typically some simp brigade or some savior out there. And I'm sure it's something that you're aware of, Yeetus. They're either going to play the victim or the victor. So if they get to go out dress very promiscuously, they're going to play the victor if they pull someone. And they're going to get to play the victim if something happens to them. Because I think we all on this panel know a female that we could pick up the phone right now and call that has been raped or touched or whatever, or she has some story or some experience. They basically can use it for the rest of their life to play victim, to get that sympathy card. So this is a double-edged sword. And that's the one thing we got to remember is every situation they're in, they're going to play the victim or they're going to play the victor. And that, you know, I'm not going to lie, shout out to BOA. That's where I picked that up from. But it's something you guys can apply and see in every situation. Victim, victor mentality. And they will find a way to maximize both with whatever situation they need to change for their benefit. However they need to manipulate the situation, they will change it, whether playing victim or... Go ahead.
That's true.
That's the funny part. How the fuck you gonna talk about, oh, why can't men go out at night and we can't? Why can't we go out at night? And then they're afraid of a motherfucking man walking down the block and they literally cross the goddamn street just to avoid that man.
It's the truth.
What the fuck?
Man, I got a crazy story.
Are you stupid? Fuck. What do you think? Men, first off, men get assaulted more than women. Mm-hmm. Statistically, that's in the FBI database. But then you want to be like, oh, we can do everything that a man can. But you literally freak the fuck out when you see one man walking down the street at 1 o'clock in the morning? Really? Really? I don't feel that way walking down the street at 1 o'clock in the morning. Have any of you guys felt that way? Walking down the street at 1 o'clock in the morning?
What, felt invincible? Hell no.
Like, the fuck? Like, how can you try to LARP as men, but then you're gonna blame the very same men that you're trying to pretend to be about how uncomfortable you are walking around at 1 o'clock in the morning? Because you know what's up. You know the dangers.
I saw a guy last night walking along the seafront. He got a ski pole in his hand. It's 10 o'clock at night, you know, by himself. And he was starting to freak me out. I had my hand on my knife. So why girls think they can get away with it? Christ knows.
Well, again, because they assume that as soon as they're in danger, a simp is going to materialize to protect them.
But yeah, what are they going to do when it's 3 o'clock in the morning and there ain't no simps in sight to save them from this dude that's like 250 pounds?
Well, then they become another statistic. The
And
same way that HMTs happen, where women go off on their guy, start abusing the shit out of him, and they never think that he's going to do shit to them until it's like, oh fuck, I'm dead.
Another thing these girls don't get, it's like they wonder why. It's like, all right, you're 5'4" and 130 pounds. Like, I'm 5'11", 210 pounds of mostly muscle. Somebody's gonna fuck with you. Ain't nobody fucking with me.
So if I
think-
may interject, I have
Go
some data that I've been crunching. It kind of pertains to our previous conversation about abortion rates and single mother households and kind of how easy it is for them to kind of get by. Well, I did some numbers, and I was able to find out in a 2019, the number of abortions was for every 8 pregnancies, there is 1 abortion. And for those 7 pregnancies, that gets out to about 225,000 single mother households in New York. Yeah, I'm using New York as a baseline because it's a city. And roughly 72% of those households are on welfare. So that means that for every 3 single mother households, there are 2 single mother households on welfare. So if you look at that by far completely blows out of the gate any sort of help that men could have in New York. There's like it, and I'm just looking at single mother households. I'm not even looking at single parent households where they're not even claiming anyone.
Single father should be like at most 5% relative. So if you're looking at approximately 150,000 single mother households on welfare there, then you're looking at like at most 3,000 single father households on welfare if the conditions were the same. So it's probably really less.
But hey, I gotta interrupt you guys. I'm gonna be inviting the one, the only Lion of MGTOW.
So fair.
What's going on, man? You doing good?
Yep.
All right, good. Do you have anything to say about today's topic? If you, I don't know if you were listening or not, but do you have anything to say about today's topic?
As far as their bad behaviors are concerned, this right here is basically one long fucked up need to rebel. That's what this is. They're rebelling against common sense. They're rebelling against biology. They're rebelling against all the norms, the hierarchies, all of that. They're rebelling against reality. But the problem with that is, while they're rebelling against reality, they still expect you, Joe Schmo, to run back to the plantation and save them from the psycho-fucked choices that they've made. The choices that have caused them to face plant, the choices that have driven them into poverty, the choices that have pretty much led to them holding 70% of the student loan debt in this country.
915. She says Lion of MGTOW can record an audiobook with that voice. I agree 1,000,000%. I don't know why Lion of MGTOW didn't do that shit yet. Dude can narrate a movie better than Morgan Freeman.
Probably narrate a horror movie.
It'd be horrible. That'd be terrifying though if you narrated a horror movie. Man, you got that unique voice, man. I'd be able to tell who you are from far away. Is that Lion of MGTOW talking? What the hell?
It's like Tony
Watch
J's voice. It's so distinctive, you recognize it immediately.
We found out Lion was Morgan Freeman the whole time.
That will be some shit.
we need Lion to do
Well, he is black.
an audiobook reading of Art of War.
Oh, that'd be perfect. Oh, hell yeah.
That would actually be great.
So, Lion and MGTOW, when it comes to them trying to modern women, try to cover their bad decisions and behaviors as empowering, which I will be typing out this next topic. And I'm sure you would definitely have something to say about this one. Because me and you definitely have a taste on this situation. Give me a second. Yeah. Single mother households. Motherfucker. It's very personal to me because I've seen plenty of friends of mine, their lives are ruined because of this. Lion and MGTOW, do you have anything to say about how women intentionally sleeps with Pookie and Ray Ray, get impregnated by them? Pookie and Ray Ray goes to prison, and then they want to brag to the world how they're strong, independent, single mothers, even though they survive off the government.
So it goes like this. They're basically mooching. They're basically engaging in that part of their brain that tells them to have fun and fuck the bad choices, fuck the consequences. And I'm gonna say it like this. This whole plague of single mother households is all self-inflicted. These women here's the thing, these Cleon bitches and these women deliberately have kids out of wedlock, and they create these kids that become sociopaths. When they turn like teenagers, they develop a complex and start stealing, and then they become that caricature of humanity that we all love to hate. And as far as for the fools who say that particular behavior is empowering, do they not realize that those who call this behavior empowering, they're actually setting these women up to fall. They're setting up for a fall. I mean, actually, you know that one of the authors of, one of the writers for the Cosmopolitan magazine, she actually came flat out and admitted like a couple of months ago that what she was writing in that magazine was bullshit. All she was doing was selling a lifestyle. But so many women fell for it. But they were none the wiser. It's the same thing with today, these women becoming single mothers on purpose.
I agree.
It's a complete clusterfuck, man. It's just, but you still have to be the stepdad. You still have to run and rescue her from the ruinous choices that you made. And if you don't want to be a stepdad, that means you're toxic. That means you're a narcissist and all the other happy horse shit. And quite frankly, they need to put a stop to that shit. They used to go like yesterday.
Hey, Mayor.
I mean, didn't we watch a video, I think last week, of the pastor or leader of the church that told all the single moms to stand up, and then told all the single men that they needed to wife up all these single moms.
Are you talking about the community post I made?
Yeah, that's the one.
All right.
That was in a black mega church. Those 14 young men, they got up and left, and they went back.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what they should have done.
Mm-hmm. It was smart, but if all the single men in that church actually got up and left, that would have been awesome. That would have been epic.
And that's right on the subject matter that we're talking about today. Is that, they're being rewarded. They even have their church leaders and societal leaders telling them that they are worthy of that.
And
Like, what the fuck?
But the thing is, those leaders and those who tell them that they're snakes in the grass, this is how they cause these women to face plant. But you see, women will appeal to anything. Women will only listen to anything that appeals to their ego. It makes them feel good. So you can lie to them, they'll eat it up. But if you tell them the truth, you hurt their feelings, then eat your routine. So it's a complete clusterfuck. They're living their lives on autopilot.
Okay, Brandon.
Yeah, have you seen that new movie out, Stepdad, where they're trying to glorify being a stepdad? You know, it's like it's pathetic. I've just seen the trailer.
I didn't see. I did not see that cinematic abortion.
Oh God, you're a better man for not seeing that.
Is that the Black Dad?
Yes, yeah. You know it's the Black Dad. They got to do that. They got to do that. They got to do that. That's Hollywood. They got to do that.
Yeah, they got to paint us to a certain image, unfortunately.
Black Dad, white mom, Chinese girl. It's.
Wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. What? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, it's a fucking zoo.
I got mind fucked for a second. I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh, Jesus.
Yep.
That's fucked up, man.
It's biologically possible, but it's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
You said that was a movie?
Yeah, it was like a little Disney animated Hollywood film.
Of course, it's Disney.
Yeah, holiday.
Was it called The Life of Jack Murphy?
Hey, Lionel McTow. I know you said it 1,000 times, but can you tell the chat what is your opinion on what caused this phenomenon to happen?
What the bad behavior?
Yeah, the bad behavior and decisions.
Well, it started with women getting the right to vote. It started with women getting the right to vote, and then after that, they moved the goalposts. Said, "Okay, let's get some more rights." And then after that came the free love movement. And you know what happened after that?
Yep,
Yeah, we got a bunch of STDs that we didn't have before.
Yeah, exactly. We got super AIDS and herpes syphilis, and we got
super gonorrhea.
Super gonorrhea.
And the black church selling out to FDR.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were getting in bed with all the Dixiecrats.
Yes,
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and Lyndon B. Johnson delivered the death stroke.
Another thing.
Right. Sir Yeetus, I'm going to give you my thoughts on single moms, and then I got to go because I got to run to my work really fast, and I got to get ready to hit the gym. But, yeah, so do you remember Darkseid from DC Comics?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember he had the anti-life equation?
Yep.
Well, when I call single moms the anti-civilization equation, because when you get a society that's overrun with single moms and it's like normalized and accepted, your society will collapse.
Uh-huh. You will, yes, you'll never be short. You'll never be short of habitual felons. You'll never be short of sociopaths. You'll never be short of male hyenas who don't know their ass from a hole in the wall, but they're willing to fight and die in the streets of a pussy. That is fucking pathetic. It's terrible.
Yeah, because we all know the stats on single moms, and it's like today it's accepted, it's celebrated, and you see the way society is going. In my opinion, it's on the verge of collapse now. I think we got like 3 years if we're lucky, and like, you know, a lot of it is these single moms raising kids, and these kids are just criminals in and out of prison, leeching off the system. Just the problems are endless.
Yes, and then here's another thing too. Like, while the statistics point that single mother households is the problem, you'll still occasionally get the bitch made simp or the sexual scavenger saying, "Well, what's wrong with single mother households? I don't see a problem with that." I'm like, you guys are fucking stupid. Just shut up. Sit down.
Pretty much.
You know,
what the fuck was I going to say? Shit, I fucking okay. Go ahead, continue. I was gonna say something. Fuck.
You know what we need to do with those men, right? We need to get helicopters, and we need to gather them up, put them on the helicopters, and we got to put spikes on the bottom, like Vlad the Impaler, and just throw the simps out of helicopters onto the spikes.
Exactly. Because when you really think about it, these simps are actually idolaters. That's literally what they are. They're idolaters. They worship pussy. It doesn't matter. It's sad. It's really sad. They've mortgaged their masculinity and are willing to worship the peace sleeve.
Well, if we go back to the beginning of feminism, what came actually before that? They were attacking the men. When you look at Playboy magazine that came out in the 50s, that was priming the pump for the sexual revolution to where society could shift into being hedonistic. And after the hedonistic society took over where it was pleasure filled, then the self-image and self-serving and the self-worship, the solipsism, came second. So once the family unit was destroyed, you could fall into pleasure. And then once the pleasure became so overwhelming, then you really just start to worship yourself once pleasure becomes number one.
Exactly. And it was all self-inflicted. I mean, Linda Gordon said it best. The nuclear family must be destroyed. She actually said that.
Yeah. And then on that, self-worshiping, look at Satanism. It's literally worshiping yourself as your god.
Yeah, it's basically a mental masturbation on a whole nother level.
Like it's got to be like the quintessential like narcissistic viewpoint. Is to think that you are the god of your life.
It makes sense. I mean, because vanity is basically his favorite sin if you think about it.
But
it's the top tenet of Satanism is self-worship.
All right, how do we get here? What the fuck? Anyway, Island Hermit, you say you have to head out. Do you have anything to say to the chat when it comes to your channel or anything else?
Yeah, if you guys want to, I got a small YouTube channel, Island Hermit RP3. Thanks for inviting me on the show, Yeet, and it was a pleasure being on with all you guys. And hey, keep up the work, LOM. I'm a fan, so.
Yep, big fan myself.
Yes, you consider simp policing.
And I'm gonna head out. See you guys.
All right, Puniti.
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 All right, Gray, you're next.
All right. Well, actually, kind of carrying on what we were just talking about with like that anti-life equation metaphor.
Okay.
Like the thing is, with single mother households, it's like I don't see them so much as the problem, so much as a symptom of the larger problem, and that is welfare. Because welfare is the antithesis of meritocracy. It basically says we will give you more the less productive you are, the less beneficial you are, the more resources we will distribute from the more beneficial to the less beneficial.
Exactly. It's parasitism if you think about it. I mean, you basically you take the most productive and smartest members of your society and you take away their capital and just give it to the parasites, the leeches, and the laziest of the lazy.
But that's really where it comes down to. And again, you also see this with rate of single mother households, rate of failure. A lot of it has to do with the amount of welfare that particular demographic receives.
Exactly. It's stagnation. The welfare equals stagnation.
And the problem is that it really does appeal. Well, it appeals to women in particular, but even men, because they're so used to the self-sacrificing nature of love.
Yes, but the problem is, like, most men don't get welfare these days, I don't think.
Well, yes,
women.
But they understand, like, oh, you care about someone, so you sacrifice for them. And then you can play all this emotional stuff and play at every man's emotional weakness.
Notice that they don't tell her to sacrifice anything.
That's because they know that they're not going to get any results by getting women to sacrifice their stuff. The women are the ones who do the advertising to get the men to sacrifice on behalf of them.
Yeah, so it's all one way, and I'm tired of that.
Great.
It's
Do you have anything for the chat? Because we got to wind down. Undead Chronic's live stream's happening in 30 minutes.
I guess
Nothing?
I just trying to word it real fast. I guess with regards to the topic in of itself, you need to hold women to higher standards, period.
You also need to hold them accountable for their bad behavior. I mean, if they are our equals, that means they can also get the same punishment if they fuck up the same way men fuck up. So that's what I'm
Precisely.
saying.
They have the same privileges and power as a man in this modern society. You should give them an equal amount of responsibilities to a man. If you can't force society to do it yet, then at the very least you need to do that in your personal life. We can't have the other mentality in the modern age. Otherwise, you will be sacrificed for that.
Exactly. You'll be sacrificed and just be chaos.
I would like to add one thing about that, because in regards to the law against when it's presented to men and women, I mean, a woman has to really go out of her way to actually hurt a man. I mean, we can do it easily, and that's a fact. But a woman has to put much more effort into that, and I believe she should be held even more accountable than a man, because she needs to put effort into it.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
I agree, man. But hey, Gray, thank you for stopping by in the stream. And once again, there will be another stream tomorrow.
I'll make it as best I can. I'm going to be half frozen. But
no problem, man. Believe me, where I'm at, it's not good over here. I'm way up north.
Yeah, don't worry.
I might be a little further north than you know. If you're in the U.S., pretty sure I'm further north than you are.
All right, probably that. Yeah, you are. But thank you for coming, man, and peace out.
Peace out.
Yo. You there?
Yep, still here.
Would you mind stopping by at Under Chronic stream today?
Yeah.
Because he will love to have you on his stream.
Yeah, I spent some time there. Yeah, but it's still a work week, and
that's true. Even if you can only stay for like 15, 20 minutes, he would love to have you on his stream to talk about, certain topics.
Yeah. But here's check this out. I gotta say it like this: the consequences of these single mother households. I think the consequences are actually getting ready to hit home, because you notice how, like, a lot of these swirlers and divestors and a lot of these kids who end up dying in these households, a lot of them they're uncovered, they're naked. There's really no protection for them, because the father's not in the household. It's just her, the kids, and just
I agree, man.
That's why
I agree. The single mother households, it's the thing that it infuriates me. The fact that they think that they can just sleep with some random Chad, Tyrone, Enrique, Muhammad, whoever the fuck it is.
And whoever they sleep with will end up hurting their children or taking advantage of them. And the funny how is, here's the thing: when this actually happens, you notice the mother really doesn't have a lot of smoke for the person who does it.
Yes, I know. Now that you mention it, yeah. Now I realize it.
Because that's disgusting. I mean, the person took advantage of your kid, and you don't care. You shrug your shoulders.
Yeah. On the same point, they want to advertise on social media that you don't mess with Mama Bear, right?
Mama Bear, shit. I've had some hard work for that.
Well, Lion and MGTOW, thank you for joining again. Once again, within the next hour or two, like whenever you're ready today, Under Chronic will be ready to have you on his show, at least for a little bit, just for a little bit. Because you haven't been on his show yet, right?
I think have I been there?
I don't think you have.
No, not yet.
But if you can today, I'll let Under Chronic know. He'll make sure that you get on his show as soon as possible. because his show is starting in 20 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, consider it done. All right, well, see you
It'll be a
soon.
good conversation. Great conversation. But the audacity of women today. That's all I gotta say. The audacity of women today. Like, why do you think today's men get upset when they have a daughter instead of a son? Because they can already foretell the future.
Exactly. You know, do you remember that scene in the Avengers Endgame? What was it? Avengers Endgame or Age of Ultron when like Black Widow's character called the wife of Hawkeye a traitor.
I think that was the Age of Ultron. Was that the Age of Ultron? Do you guys know?
No, not seen it.
No,
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on that one.
I don't think I've seen it in Endgame. I don't think I have. So I'll say Age of Ultron. Yeah, I forgot what. Nah, yeah, Age of Ultron. I'll say that.
He had a son, I think. Yeah.
But in the end, right? It doesn't matter if she's a common woman, like an average woman, or she's a celebrity. You guys see the self-destructive behavior
Yes,
on all sides.
Yes, and it's encouraged by other women. That's the sad part. I mean, they're literally shooting themselves in the foot, reloading the fucking gun, and blowing it off, man. It's terrible, man.
It's the worst. And then they have the audacity to point the finger at you.
Exactly.
Like, what did I do? What the fuck?
They scapegoat you. I mean, you did this. I ain't do a fucking thing. You did it to yourself.
I don't even know you. What the fuck, ho?
90% of the time, it's not what you did; it's what you didn't do.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Damn. Okay. You're not wrong.
Why
You're not
didn't
wrong.
you stop me from shooting myself in the foot? Basically.
Exactly.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, by that logic, if these women shit out kids and the kids grow up and become nothing, these women are guilty of benign neglect.
But Lion MGTOW, I'm sure you want to chill for a bit before you decide to go on under chronic stream. So I'm gonna let you go right now. Once again, a gigantic honor. The Lion MGTOW drops in on the live stream. This makes me want to work even harder. All right. Definitely come back to the live stream tomorrow if possible, because I do have another live stream coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And peace out.
Peace out. GTN.
Hell yeah. Give them nothing.
You know it.
Fuck them bitches.
Hawk 'em.
Lion MGTOW is the shit. I like that dude.
Hey, can I say my goodbyes now?
Yes, you can, Brandon.
All right.
Brandon, you good?
Oh man, I'm better than good.
Okay.
Anyways, it's not just the men these women go after. They will go after their own children. You know, have you heard about little Damari Perry out of Chicago?
Who's that?
He was a 6-year-old boy that was tortured to death by his mother.
Oh, that's one
And
of your
then-
videos. I saw your video.
And then she enlisted her other children to help her cover it up, and had the children go to the police. The story didn't fly. Now everybody in that whole damn family is either in the grave or in jail. You know, that little boy was an angel. 6 years old. 6 years old. I don't know what he did, you know, what he broke, you know, whatever she wanted, or ran off her latest Chad or Tyrone. But there's no reason to beat a 6-year-old and then hold him under a cold shower until he gets hypothermia and dies. And then to play the victim so much that your own children will throw their lives away just to save your sorry ass. These women, it's
despicable.
pathetic.
You
It's
probably
pathetic.
forgot to feed the rest of the children before she got back home.
Yeah, I'm not surprised whatsoever. That shit is common, even though the media doesn't want to cover it.
Yeah.
Women abusing / eliminating their own kids.
Yeah, but she was so selfish. She not only abused and murdered that child, she got the rest of her family in jail.
Yeah, it's she looks out for number one, and modern men they don't wanna admit that. They don't wanna they don't wanna come to the realization that in the end everybody is expendable to her.
Yep.
But thank you for joining, Brandon.
Thank you.
I
It was a
know we
great
took
stream.
majority of your time,
Don't
but
worry about it.
there will be another live stream tomorrow. I will
Sorry.
send you.
Sorry about
Are
the
you-
mic.
No, it's all good. Are you in Discord?
I have Discord.
Also, you're not in the Warband Discord.
I can turn it on. I've just got it turned off right now.
Okay, well, if you can find me, send me a message. I'll send you a link for tomorrow.
All right, man.
So you come first.
All right. Later.
All right. Puniti.
Bunite.
You too.
All right. Ian Blades, you have anything to say to the chat about the topic or anything else?
I was just going to say, did you ever see the program Scared Beyond Straight?
Yes.
You notice that 9 out of 10 times the really bad kids were from a single mother family.
He says single mother.
Yeah, usually no father there. And they're acting out the most.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because fathers, they're the ones that teach kids about boundaries.
Exactly, yeah. And the other thing was, I don't know if it's still going on, but in the UK, when I was like 18, 19, if a girl got pregnant, she got a free council house or a flat, So it's giving them a license to do it.
Yeah, it's insane, man. It is out of control. And it's not going to stop anytime soon, unless the man in power grows a fucking backbone.
They're getting more and more given to them by the government. Therefore, they don't need no man. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But hey, man, thank you for joining the chat. I know that we took a majority of your time talking to Light and MGTOW and shit.
Well, I don't get to speak to anyone else my age or any opinion around where I live because they're all retired,
I understand, man. I definitely understand. There will be a live stream tomorrow.
Cool. I'll come
All
in.
right, man. Peace out.
Puniti.
Well, Sir Yeetus, I think I'll be the next one to say my goodbyes and adieus. I got a couple things to take care of before I take off from work today. So,
okay.
On the subject matter, yeah, I agree with Lion. You hold them responsible, hold them accountable. If we as a society can't do it as a whole, but you can do it on an individual level. Don't let them manipulate you. Don't fall into their traps. Worry about yourself. I'll go back to what I keep preaching. Build yourself, build your castle, build your kingdom. Anyways,
I definitely agree, man. Do you have anything for your channel or?
I am almost at 100 subs on my YouTube channel. If I can get 100 subs before Saturday, I promise I will drop you all a brand new track. Lyrics, beats, I will put it into work and I will get a new one dropped right on Saturday. I'll get it done, posted up at 9 o'clock Pacific time on Saturday. Get me to 100 subs, Brutus. I'm right there. I'm like 6 away.
All right, too easy, man. Thank you for joining, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So it's been a pleasure. Take it easy, and if it's easy, take it twice.
Puniti. Just some random guy.
Yo,
Anything to say to the chat about the topic or anything else?
I do. I have a really short story about female behavior. I mean, I was talking with this girl I know, and she was talking about guys who, the sex harassment things, at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I told her, well, there's plenty of things, there's plenty of ways you can approach that, and I asked her what exactly were the guys doing. The guy was, and she said they were calling the girl pretty and hot, and she said that was harassment, and said, okay, then think with me. That girl had a crush inside the job, and and a while ago she found out he was dating three girls at the same time in the work, and that turned her off. And then I asked her, well, remember the guy you had a crush on? Had he said you were hot before you knew about how he was, would you consider that as harassment? And she said no. There you have it. It's only harassment when you think it is, because most of the times there are some special cases, but most of the times, I mean, you can take two guys. One she's interested, and one she's not. Both of them call her hot, and it's pretty simple. She's gonna think that it's fine for the guy she's interested to call her hot, but she think it's gonna be harassment if the guy she's not interested calls her hot. I mean, both the guys did the same thing. The woman is the is the is a changing factor in that. It's not us basically doing the bad things. We have to go. I mean, do things because they don't do shit. They just stand there and wait for us. And
Well, it depends on who she deems as hot or not.
yeah, that's right. Sorry, I'm a
So-
bit out of breath. I was eating a while ago. Sorry.
Nah, it's all good, man. It is what it is. But thank you for telling me your story, man. Definitely
Yeah,
come
thanks.
back tomorrow.
For sure, man. This was a great stream, man. Really, great stream. Just like the last one.
Of course, it's been going good so far. I didn't mess up yet.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't go to get some water yet, did you?
Oh yeah, okay. Let's go back to the gas station thing. It's cool. Cool beans. But definitely come back tomorrow, man.
For sure, man.
All right, man.
Peace.
Peace out.
Peace, Puniti.
Unity. Real talk.
Yeah, I just want to ride off the wave he just set forth. Just some random guy was describing the subjective nature of the solipsistic female. So when you worship yourself, you're always thinking in terms of oneself. You can never think outside of oneself objectively. So do not let women and their subjective nature and how they beguile us to be their beguiling ways are to that subjective nature. Do not let the subjective nature gaslight you to determine your reality. So I just want to end on that because I think that's the strongest tool they have is making everything all about them. It's all subjective. They can deem you hot 1 second, one guy 1 hot second, and then the other guy is not hot. And it could be just based off the shoes, literally. So do not let that determine your reality through their gaslighting process. You have to be able to put on a gas mask when they try to gaslight you, whatever that means. But yeah, I'll see you guys over at the stream. Great conversation. A lot of heavy thoughts and great mesh of opinions here.
No problem, man. I'll definitely see you at Chronic Stream.
For sure, for sure. Good night, boys.
All right.
Puniti.
Out, Puniti.
Peace.
All right. The one and only Amazing Ice.
Yo.
Got anything to say?
Not too much. Although I was thinking about Mayor's statement. Talking about it's been a hot second since he was talking, but basically about like raising your standards and other stuff like that. And I think a lot of people can get lost in like the idea of seeing immediate change. And unfortunately, I just don't think it's going to be viable to see that unless something in our situation happens to where it forces that immediately. More than likely, I would suggest that through us mentoring other men who are down bad and don't understand the world around them to raise their standards, we'll gradually see an improvement in society. And I mean, I guess that's more of a hopeful way of saying that, but I mean, that's just my opinion. That if that is the way to go forward, in my opinion. I mean, and we're already doing that, but just a little reminder to all the people not to lose heart. You know, I think it's what keeps us, separate from the black pillars.
I agree, man. You definitely got a way more positive outlook than the black pillars I talked to. I'm
Yeah,
like, come on, bro.
100%. I just don't see the point in just giving up. It's like, oh, well, I mean, at this point, like, what are you even living for, bro? Are you just like, is it just, you're trying to have like as much pleasure as possible through this life? I don't know. I just don't see that as like something that's viable for the long term. And I guess it depends on what your mindset is and how broken you are. So
I agree, man. But if you wanted to join the live stream tomorrow, I will have another one tomorrow.
yeah, we'll see. I'll definitely be up for that. Unfortunately, sometimes it falls on my work schedule, so I'll try to be there.
Hey, whenever you can, bro.
Heard that. Well, hey man, take it easy. I'll be over at Chronic Stream for a little bit, so I'll see you over there, my guy.
It's all good, man. Peace out.
Later, my dude.
All right, it's just me, the one and only Sir Yeetus. This was a good stream. This stream definitely touched on a lot of specific topics that need to be discussed on how women, they really try their best to conceal their bad behavior and decisions. Like, seriously, all their bad behavior and decisions, they try to make it seem like it's an empowerment thing to model women, which is the exact opposite. In fact, it's the number one cause of women ending up alone, or women ending up like 304s, or women ending up with 10 to 15 kids with no man around to help her take care of them. This is a very unhealthy mindset, and the fact that society is encouraging this type of bad behavior and decisions tells you enough. And guess who has to pay for a majority of this woman's bad behavior and decisions? Men. Whether it's through taxes, whether it's getting trapped, whether it's signing that birth certificate, whether it's common law marriage, etc. Once again, men have to pay the price for women's fuck ups. And then women have the audacity to try to, ooh, you guys should treat us equally. What are you doing? We should be equal to you guys. Yet, of course, men in society have to take care of the women like they're fucking children. Think on that, gentlemen. Think on that. This is Sir Yeetus. This was a great live stream. Hopefully, you guys got your daily dose of red pills. And I am out. Peace.